Hey everybody! Here for Love and Hip Hop Season 6, Episode 9. Alright, this episode was like, okay, alright, no, first of all,
Oh,
VH1,
no.
Mona Scott, you play too much. Because everybody and their mama was confused tonight.
No.
Now, I heard Remy and Pat... Girl. I heard Remy and Papoose say that this episode is going to be commercial free. Okay, commercial free. But, everybody was confused by the time 8:43 rolled around and there was no more Love and Hip Hop. And then we could tell that y'all kind of rushed to put something in that little 15-minute slot, at least to keep us, entertained until Stevie J and Jocelyn came on. So, okay, for those of y'all who didn't know, tonight, Deadpool, the movie, brought out the slot for VH1, because somebody I follow that works for VH1 let us know. Deadpool brought out the slot to do its promo for the movie, which comes out on Friday. So that's why it was commercial free. Cool. So they would show one commercial in between, scenes or whatever. Okay, cool. But everybody in their mind was confused. And I was sitting here too like, oh my God, I can't do nothing. I can't play Candy Crush real quick. I can't go pee. I can't do nothing. No, I'm going to miss this episode. So I sat here and I watched it and I just laughed with everybody else who was just as confused or whatever. But anyway, this episode was a prelude to the ratchetry that's going to take place in 2 friggin' weeks. I'll get to that at the end of the video. But, yeah. So it basically started off with Rich. Oh, thank you, because I don't want you to hurt yourself with it. It started off where it left off with Rich and Cisco. Cisco basically revealed that he was still in his feelings about the whole Diamond Strawberry thing from last season. And that's why he was messing with, get down, little girl. Get down. Get down. Get down. Because you're going to fall. Cisco basically revealed that he was messing with Mariah Lynn to get back at Rich because of the whole Diamond Strawberry thing. And my thing is, Cisco, first of all, why you so in your feelings about the whole Diamond Strawberry fiasco when you did that girl dirty? You sat up here, you had a baby on her, okay? You were cheating on her the whole time y'all were together. And then, now mind you, both of them was lying to each other last season. She lied about she lied about her daughter. Get down! She lied about having, a daughter, not telling him about her child. And he lied about having a 6-month-old son, like he said last season, on her with his baby mother. So, you're going to get mad at Diamond because Diamond felt solace and comfort in Rich because Rich was telling her, hey, you're a beautiful girl. You don't have to feel this way. So she mistook that for him, flirting with her, whatever. She was vulnerable because she really liked Cisco. She was vulnerable and she wanted to feel wanted. So, her and Rich did what they did in the bathroom. They claim they ain't do nothing, but I don't believe that. And I'm pretty sure the rest of y'all who watch this show don't believe it. So I'm like, why are you so in your feelings about Diamond when you didn't care about the girl to begin with? You broke her heart. She came from LA to New York for your Mr. Potato Head looking ass, and you did her dirty. But now you want to tell Rich, well, I got with Mariah Lynn to get back at you, and I want you to see how it feel, or whatever, all in his feelings. And he was like, well, you sat up here and you did it for no reason, because I don't care about Mariah Lynn, and I didn't care about Diamond. And he was like, all right, well, what if I go and get that John you had in L.A.? What's her name? Moniz? He said, yeah, that would have been better. That would have been a better bet. Maybe I would have actually felt something. But you doing it at Mariah Lynn, you doing it with people I don't even care about. And he was like, dog, you didn't even care about Diamond or Mariah Lynn. So what are you talking about? So then he pushes Rich and they about to fight and whatnot. So when he go outside, I don't know why Mariah Lynn is still standing outside. Okay, but she outside and she like, oh really? So now you gonna sit up here and downplay our relationship and play me to get back at Rich, talking about how you started talking to me to you started talking to me to get back at him. So what we was doing wasn't real. He was like, no, at first it was to get back at Rich, but then I'm like, don't backpedal now, because you legit said in front of her and to Rich that the only reason why you got with her was to get back at Rich. So I'm like, Cisco, shut up, sit down, go somewhere. Like, you are just Cisco annoys me. And I really wish Mona would take him off the cast. Because Cisco has been annoying since last season. And I'm disgusted by him. So, Rose and her sister are, meeting up for lunch or whatever. And her sister says she came across something on the internet where she's asking, your Rose. Oh my God, not Rose, Yorma. Yorma. Sorry. Yorma and her sister are meeting up. And they're having lunch, and her sister's like, hey, have you seen this? Have you heard this interview with Self on the radio? He's shouting out some chicks from Beauty Bar. So they listen to it, Self is shouting out Rose, and Rose is on the phone like, hi, my love, my baby. Thank you for shouting me out, blah, 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 blah. So then she showed Yorma a picture of Self with Rose. And, Yorma's like, oh, she's basic, she's this, she's that. So her sister is like, well, what are you going to do about that? Because that looked kind of shady. And how she's talking to him on the radio, it seems shady to me, sis. And she's like, well, I don't know. I'm going to pay her a visit and see what she says. So her and her sister, mind you, her and her sister look like twins. They go to Beauty Bar. And Rose is there. So Rose is like, oh, I already know this bum bitch walking in who she was the minute she came in. She the one that be on Instagram crying boo-hoo about being with Self. So I already know who she was. And she's like, well, naturally, Self shouted us out on the radio. So, of course, I expect her to come in here and say something. So, Yorma came in there asking her questions like, have you been with Self? Had y'all had sex? Have y'all kissed? Have y'all this? And she's like, yeah, we kissed or whatever. And she's like, well, that's my boyfriend. She's like, oh, that's your boyfriend? And then they going back and forth slinging insults. And Rose is like, believe me, if I was with him, you wouldn't be with him. And that's the truth. So, Yorma just went crazy and started ripping her clothes off the racks and tearing stuff up. And then I guess Yorma's friend or her coworker, whoever, was about to, they was all just about to fight each other. And I'm like, okay, first of all, Rose, you thirsty. Okay, because you didn't ask, inquire, nor care if he had a girlfriend or not. And Self was stupid for letting you come on to him and say, instead of saying, he could have pushed that boundary, but men like him will sit up here and, want to get their ego fed by thirsty broads like you. So, like I said, she didn't care if he had a girlfriend or not. She sat on his lap, was all over him or whatever, talking about how she wanted them to be a power couple and all this other craziness. So you didn't care if he had a girlfriend or not. And then Yorma, she went to go meet up with Self at the Power 105 office, by the lobby, and she's asking him questions. Now, Self, okay, I can understand people who are nervous. When they're caught in awkward situations, they try to laugh off the nervousness. But Self just be making it worse because every single time Yorma confronts him and curses him out, he always laughing in her face, which makes it worse. And it really does. When men do that, that pisses us off. But I understand he's nervous, but he wouldn't have nothing to be nervous about if he would have diffused the situation from the beginning. So Yorma is like, have you had sex with this girl? And he's like, no, I haven't had sex with her. She said, you know what? You put me through too much. I put up with all of your stuff with women falling all over you, and I just deal with that. I'm tired of it. We need to break up. I'm done with you. So they broke up. So what do you want? Then play with it. So what else happened? Oh, Remy is trying to get her stuff together for... No, you're not getting that. No. So Remy is trying to get her stuff together for the wedding. She meets up with Yandy. And, everybody was basically like, well, why is Remy beating up with Yandy all of a sudden? Because she's not talking to Ra. And I'm like, no, go back some episodes. Yandy and Ra had a double date with, they husbands, and they were talking about Mendici's jail sentence or whatever. So they probably been cool ever since then. Just because they haven't done any scenes since then does not mean anything. And... Ra and Remy are friends, okay, but why can't Remy be friends with Yandy either? They're both married, they're both in similar situations, so what's the problem? I didn't really feel like Remy was trying to replace Ra and go to Remy now that her and Ra wasn't talking, because her and Ra are friends and I knew they would come back together. But I'm like, people were like, oh, now she friends with Remy. No, it ain't now she friends with now they friends. Now she friends with Yandy. They were, they were cordial, they were cool, they had a date together and whatnot, So Yandy wants to help Remy with her wedding and everything, and she basically want to throw her vision of her wedding on Remy. And I'm like, Yandy, pump your brakes. We know you just got married and you excited and you got the connects, but this ain't your wedding, sweetheart. You did your wedding already. Let Remy pick out what she want. You have to, you know, the bride has to be satisfied, not the people who are in, who are in the part, like the people who are part of it. It's not about y'all. It's about Remy and Papoose on that day. So don't try and, put your beliefs and what you want on their wedding. So, Remy, Remy is talking about how oh my God, get down. You keep playing, you're gonna fall. So Remy is talking about how she's upset because her mother is not there and she had to basically get on her mother-in-law about everything. And Yandy is like, oh, I understand, I went through it with my mother-in-law too. She came out with guns blazing, claws, all of that. So we had to talk, and we had to nip it in the bud. And she was like, yeah, I just felt like my mother-in-law just legit did not like me. Like she wanted she said something about how they got into an argument over text or something like that. So, Yandy is like, well, just work it out, work it out with your mother-in-law. And she's like, yeah, I did. And then she started talking about her mom and whatnot. So Papoose brought her mom in and they started discussing, everything that was going on. And basically, the main topic of the conversation was that the mother was stressed with Yandy being in jail. And she's like, any mother who, it's like painful for any mother to walk around feeling like their child hates them. And not Yandy, Remy was like, I don't hate you. I just feel like you weren't there for me. Like, you came to see me in jail. Yeah, but you put all of that weight on Papoose when it could have been y'all together. But, they basically worked it out, hashed out their conversation. And, Remy is just trying to get everything cleared up for the wedding. So Remy meets up with Rye at the gym, and they're discussing the wedding. And she lets Rod know, oh yeah, I hung out with Yandy, she's been helping me with my wedding as well. So Rod with her little stink faces and rolling of the eyes. So then Yandy comes in, waist trainer ready, and here's Rod. And I'm like, Rod, stop it. Because y'all beef is your beef with Yandy is very irrelevant. She's married to Mendices, get over it. Sidebar, again, and I asked this on Twitter, what the hell happened to Rashida and her wedding? Can somebody update me so I can stop asking this question? Because 3-4 seasons ago, Rashida was getting married and preparing for a wedding. She had a big old rock on her finger. What happened to that? I'm so confused. Can somebody help me out here? I think I done Googled it and all of that and nothing came up. Somebody help me, please. But yeah. So anyway, Rashida sitting there with the side eyes and all of that to Yandy. So, Yandy is like, well, I think of your wedding as my wedding, and, I'm here to help you, and, well, whatever it is that you need. And Rashida is like, oh, I'm thinking my wedding is your wedding. And boo, girl, bye. You only known her for 2.5 seconds. So, Rashida throwing shade, talking about, oh, what's her favorite flower? What's her date of birth? What's her this? What's that? And I'm like, Rashida, calm down. Like, calm down. You team too much. And Yandy is like, well, I'm not here to throw shade. I'm just here to help Remy out with her wedding, because I just got married. So whatever connects or whatever help she needs, I would love to help her with it. So I'm like, Rashida, you are just so bothered. Just relax. So Remy and Papoose meet up, and Remy is saying that she changed the venue because the castle is not fitting of her Winter Wonderland wedding that she wants. Like, she's saying, during the winter, the grass is brown, the trees are asleep. So, it was summertime when they filmed this. So she wants the venue to match her vision. And I mean, I can understand it. And I'm like, Papoose was like, dang, I already put money down on the castle and rented it out and everything for the day of, but I'm like, knowing Papoose, he made things happen and he made her day special. I mean, I saw the pictures. She looked happy and she looked like a beautiful bride and he looked like a handsome groom. So I can't wait to see the actual, footage or whatever, if she allowed cameras in of their wedding. So what else happened? Okay, I talked about you and myself. Cisco and Rich. Well, continuing with Cisco and Rich. Rich met up with Peter, and Peter is like, "Oh, well, you and Cisco got to work it out, cause we the self-proclaimed creep squad, and I'm part of the creep squad, so a woman should never get in between friends or whatever." And I'm like, well, this is the one time you are actually making sense, Peter, because we all know your love life is in shambles. So what else happened? So they meet up, and it basically ended there. Get down. I'm so tired of talking to you. So they meet up, and it basically ended there. But in the 15-minute sneak peek, they basically buried the hatchet or whatever. I'm not going to go too much into detail with it, because I'll leave that for the 2 weeks, that we got to wait for it. But this was a funny little clip to see Mendices with Cameron, and he's in the studio, and he actually recorded, did a track. I forgot what the name of it, but I think it's called "We Get Busy" or something like that. But he was telling Cameron, he was like, "Yeah, when I was in jail, music was just coming to me, so I got a 16, 16 bars or whatever." So I was like, okay. So when he got in the booth, he ain't sound half bad. He didn't sound. I was like, what he was saying in his little rap was a lot better than the crap that's on the radio today. So I'm like, okay, Mendices, I see you. And even Mendices was like, listen, I ain't no rapper, but this is something that came to me, and I just wanted to write it down, and I want to rap about it. And I'm like, listen, that's perfectly fine. At least you put yourself out there, and at least it wasn't corny. It was nice. It was nice. But yeah, overall, this episode was pretty turnt, and it's gonna be worse next episode next week. Well, 2 weeks from now, and I'm like, dang, we gotta wait 2 weeks, because next Monday is President's Day. These holidays be jacking us up. It sucks, but whatever. So, get a little bit of break from Love and Hip Hop, like I got a little break from Real Housewives of Atlanta. But yeah, that was Love and Hip Hop Season 6, Episode 9. I think I forgot something else. I can't remember what. Probably wasn't important enough, but whatever. But, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and I told you to stop. You don't listen. And I'll see you guys next video. Later.